Hello, let's see some messages for today. I've been watching David McEwan on YouTube, and he talks about shifting focus and where to place importance, or placing importance on certain things and making other things not so important. So we'll see what comes out for you in terms of that. Okay, Knight of Cups is about moving towards what your heart really desires. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. This guy looks pretty romantic if you ask me. However, it's just focusing on what you want and doing actions, having thoughts in terms of that. This is an energy of nostalgia and of ancestry. It's of your childhood self, your innocence. So what kind of state were you in as a child? A lot of us were in the moment, and observing the things around us is very sensory. And that's what David McEwan talks about as well, is really tuning into your senses, hearing, focusing on hearing and sight, adding the other senses, bringing you back to where you originally were, like in just a state of being before any kind of programming. This is going to help you propel from one place to another. Believe in your vision and have gratitude for everything around you. Just shift into gratitude. Name 5 things around you right now you're grateful for. That gets you into a space where you are looking at what you appreciate, what you want, and the positive things. If there are negative thoughts looping, say that thought's not important. And this is thought. This is having higher thought forms. What is the energy of a thought form that is a lower vibration, like shame? And how much energy are you putting into those shame thoughts? And you can even ask yourself, is this a shame thought? Is this unjustified fear? Is this anger? Do you really want to be feeling that? And what stories are we telling ourselves that are leading us to feel that way? Process them. Don't invalidate yourself, of course. However, release it, because there's a way out of this cycle. 6 of Pentacles is an energy of reciprocity and generosity. So makes me think of that song by the Radicals, I think, New Radicals. And it's, you get what you give. So giving out what you want to get back, because everything around you is a reflection of your reality. And talking about reflection, the mirror came out. That is wild. So the mirror principle, which David McEwan also talks about, is that everything around you will reflect your thoughts. So if you're thinking all these negative things, then you're going to see that proof manifest in your reality, right? And there's that devil card. So what, being mindful, not everybody's particularly religious, but if you think about religious principles, like the devil is that, like, what does the devil represent? Like manipulation, temptation, darkness, fear, worry, things like that. So shifting from that into shifting into love, fear into love. You have the Lovers here. So what is a loving thought? What is a thought about the people that you love that you can change? A perception that you have, a preconceived notion that was likely programmed from something else from your life that may not necessarily be true. What can you shift into love? What do you love about your job? What do you love about your home? What do you love about your town, your community? What do you love about the people that are close to you in your life? Shifting into that. Thoughts are like seeds, like plant the seeds. What kind of seeds do you want to plant? Because the seeds that you plant is what is going to grow. So really tuning into what your heart wants to see and experience at any given moment, any given day, any given time in the now, that is just going to create an energetic movement towards more things that you love, towards more peace and appreciation and calm and serenity. Everything around you right now is just energetic frequency. The flower vase you may have on your table, that is energetic frequency. At one point you bought yourself flowers, or at one point somebody gave you flowers, you put them on the table, they're still there. It's proof of something that was a frequency of the past, right? So what are you doing energetically right now that is setting the stage for the next and being excited about the next? Death and rebirth. So That's really powerful. Rebirth. It's like imagining that in some way, some part of you that you didn't want died, and now it's being reborn and you have a new opportunity. And this is the mind, this is thought, this is fire, this is passion. What brings you excitement? What brings you peace? What do you want to cultivate inside your mind? What kind of connections do you want to create? Gratitude will bring you into that. Gratitude and excitement. And the things that are worrying you, eliminate their importance. It's not important where you're going to be at in 20 years, right? It's not important what that other person is doing, like Mel Robbins, let them, right? It's not important. Is it really important? Do you want it to be important? This conflict, not important. That thing that happened, not important. That resentment, that thing that person did, not important. The more you release the importance of those certain things, those fears and those worries and those stories that may or may not be true, ask yourself, is that true? Is it important? And move towards what is important. Be in the present, yet move towards what brings you excitement, what brings you gratitude and happiness and love and peace and joy. And I'm not talking about they talk about toxic positivity. Yes, there's light and there is shadow. There are certain mantras where you can say, I don't know. This is another David McEwan, but I don't know why this is good for me, but it is. There's always going to be negative experiences. Yes, of course, knowing that as well is going to root yourself into accepting when things don't look the way that we would want them to look, right? However, keep moving forward. Be like, okay, that happened. It is what it is. Not important. Here I go. I'm going to shift back into gratitude as often as possible. That is the wheel. That is going to change the trajectory of your life. It's like the wheel is spinning and it's going to land somewhere else. Keep spinning the wheel. Keep taking a chance. You don't know always how it's going to exactly look or turn out. I think if you watch Wheel of Fortune and when they're really, really, really excited, it's like the wheel just lands on good places. And I've seen the Wheel of Fortune where they're nervous and worried and bummed out and it keeps going on bankrupt. Like there's like an energy there. So imagining that, just keep going, keep spinning it, see where it lands, see what kind of energy and thought you put out and see what the results are of that. And keep going with that. Notice, bring yourself to awareness on any given moment. You can do it at work. You can do it anywhere you are. Be like, it's time to become present. It's time to become aware. Hey, shift into gratitude. Adjust, choose. You have choice. You can choose how you see something. You can choose how you see somebody. You choose how you see yourself and stop and say, do I want this in my mind? No. Okay, I'm going to make another choice. So what do I tell myself now? Okay, I'm making that choice. Keep with that. Keep your frequency up because the things that are of that devil card cannot live inside your frequency when you raise your frequency. And the way you raise your frequency is raising your thought patterns and shifting into gratitude. And then those things that you would maybe usually worry about, they actually fall away because they don't fit into where you are. Dark negative things don't thrive in high frequencies. Wow. So I'm excited to do this as well today. These are some concepts I looked at yesterday, and I'm excited to hear what happens with you today in this moment and how that helps shift. So thank you for watching. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.